I would like to share with everybody that came in from one of our brothers that I felt was very healing understanding. And this came from the Invincible America Assembly back this summer of 2019, Fairfield, Iowa. And this experience is from a TM teacher who teaches in Washington, D.C. Transcendental meditation, by the way. Some of you don't know what that is. And this is how it goes. One morning, as I was joyfully engaged in yogic flying, experiencing bliss and a sense of contentment and well-being, I also noticed that there was a sense of something bubbling in my head. And all of a sudden, there was a huge explosion and expansion of light from within my being. It was so powerful and all permeating structure. Light was pouring from every cell, every inch of my body. From every inch of me, triangular prisms emerged, expanding into the universe. The experienced light within me and light out. All there was light. I was powerfully suspended in light. My body seemed tiny in the midst of this blazing light. I really understood the phrase that we are light. This light structure was ancient, eternal, immortal, and invincible. I sat suspended in this light, basking in this glorious light for a while. Then I got up to lie down and rest. I rested with the intensity of this light flowing through every cell of my body. And I walked around in awe for the rest of the day. It took weeks to integrate the power of this experience. So very long that this civilization on this little water world planet has been duped, tricked, manipulated, deceived in many different directions. And I have talked about this for quite some time, that we are all God. And there are things that have been hidden and suppressed and buried and redone to keep us from knowing this. Okay? Now you begin to understand how silly it is for us to fight each other, to harm one another while we're in these bodies, to create disturbance, to foul life is just silly. It isn't even, it's so minuscule and it's so superfluous. It has no real place for us. We are infinite, divinely created through Source. Gods. We are the kingdom of God. We are the mind of God. And we are the power of God. And this civilization is waking up to begin to absorb this, understanding this knowledge. Because that's where it is. If you really want to know how universes are created, go deep within you. It's all there. Fortunately for some, it is a fearing journey. It's the unknown. See, we talk about the river of void and the bridge over into the unknown. And many don't care to travel that. As I've said, many of us have become comfortable as the dog on the porch laying on the nail, not knowing any better to get off of the nail where the pain would cease. We have become in, comfort with being in discomfort. So we're comfortable with discomfort. But there's a massive energy shift happening right now, in this now. And that massive energy shift is growing, and it is expanding as this teacher experienced for themselves. And it is all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever. You know, we've been literally told since childhood, and even before we were out of the mother's womb, that we are insignificant, that we aren't power, that God is in the sky, and that, you know, we must listen to these external authorities, these made-up illusions. And in reality, it is an illusion to keep us distracted and focusing on the gods that we are. The only way that any of us can find this is on our own volition, our own motivation and direction through our heart mind. It cannot be forced, okay? It just cannot be directed outside of you. It must be directed by you. You're the orchestrator. You're the creator. And think about this. You ever notice how this civilization has been conditioned into a dis-ease of seriousness? Here's a quote. A man who knows the divine has a sense of humor. If you meet someone who has no sense of humor, you can be certain that he or she is a pretender. Knowing the divine brings sincerity, and all seriousness disappears. Knowing brings a playfulness. Knowing brings a sense of humor, and a sense of humor is a must. Let this always be remembered. And that is from Osho. Have you ever noticed that your level of suffering is directly related to how serious your attitude about your life is? The more serious you are about things, the harder your life becomes. See, I've always been this way since I came into this body. Silly, kind of goofy, and I can be anywhere, and I have no, I don't. In other words, I don't care. I am me. That's it. So I much prefer to be silly and happy than serious. I've had people always say to me, sometimes you've got to be serious. So why do you continue being serious? What's the purpose of being serious about anything? Do you think you'll reach enlightenment faster by being serious? Do you honestly believe you will attain your ego's desires with more joy and effortless ease if you're super serious about them? Seriousness is a contracted, controlling, egoic energy, and it which blocks you from really being relaxed. Think about that for a minute. How many of us are embarrassed to be silly, or we don't feel. Here's the rationalization. Okay, well, I'm an adult now. It's not really right to be happy and joyous and goofy and funny and silly because I'm an adult. Can act that way. People will think I'm crazy. Okay? Even though sometimes, haven't you, any of you ever felt like you were busting out to be a kid? I don't care if you're 100. And then of course we say, oh no, I can't be that way. No. Those are bygone days when I was a young one. Yeah. So, seriousness is contracted, controlling egoic energy, which blocks you from being relaxed, happy, and able to manifest your desires effortlessly. Your energy becomes like a tight fist, which makes it hard to let abundance in. Seriousness comes from an over-controlling ego who is addicted to desire. It's serious because it just doesn't know how to manifest with joy and effortless ease. It has to control everything. It has to have a tight agenda. And it makes sure every tiny step along the way is successful. It's forgotten that real success in life is being in love each moment along the way. Now, we can have a deep, sincere life, having real honesty, integrity, that's integrated honesty, and not get caught in the trap of seriousness at all. The first step begins with noticing the difference between when you are being serious and when you are being sincere. You can feel it is a subtle difference, and it comes from within your chest and body. Your heart chest will feel more lightness and with sincerity, and feel heavy and controlled with seriousness. When you are serious, you are coming from your ego mind head. And when you are being sincere, you are coming from the heart, mind, and the God. Now, when we look underneath the energy of seriousness, we see that the ego is there, deeply attached to some future outcome. And when we look under the energy of sincerity, it has an ever deeper quality to it, one that is coming from love, being patient, kind, light, and non-attached. Seriousness is very goal-oriented, and it is ready to fight for the ego's survival at any moment. Sincerity is more loving, conscious, living beyond the material world on the spiritual path. This is when humanity will begin to understand that the material world is just an illusion. It's a movie that you participate in. The popcorn is the material. Soda pop, the candy, whatever, food, the dinner. And when we learn who and what we are fully, we begin living beyond the material world. And we begin to understand we're on the spiritual path. In other words, the God path. And the first step to transcending the ego's serious game is in the making the commitment to shifting our perspective. We must be willing to see the circumstance from a larger, more calming viewpoint. And that this realizes you are an eternal being on an absolute, infinite journey. We must always be discovering our true, infinite, divine nature. If we ever are to be completely matter what happens in our lives. No matter what. Whatever we decide to do or don't do, everything is going to be okay. We must realize this deeply and intimately, and to know that you are an eternal soul, a God, an unbounded consciousness, whose real nature is as wild and free as a pure star light. This is a huge opportunity in this lifetime for us to stop being serious and start having fun. We've heard this before, okay? And what is the argument? You can't always be happy and joyous and funny and silly. You've got to at some point become serious. Okay? That's this structure. That's this matrix. It is a lie. We start with realizing that we are not just this body, nor this mind, nor any of the thoughts that any of us are thinking today. All these thoughts that all of us think are so important are not going to be important at all 10 minutes before you leave that body. And in this matrix, they call it dying or death, which is also a lie. So stop worrying about things and just focus on knowing the spiritual being you, all of us, truly are. Experience the divine, sweet, undying essence of what we all are in, each circumstance and situation that we get in. We must live the experience of this truth. If you're truly going to seriously stop suffering completely, otherwise, the needy, demanding ego will just take you down over and over and over again. Down the road of being serious about everything and anything again and again. The ego is very serious about its job, and it cannot give up until you realize the truth of who and what you are. You know, you cannot own, capture, or collect anything of this material world. We've heard these statements. Everything is borrowed, even this body we are in. Your soul, your God, your spirit is the only thing you bring with you on this infinite journey. Now, if you could bring everything, where would you put it all? One day, you must leave this body behind, unless you ascend, and the only thing you can take with you is your consciousness. How much time do you spend being conscious, and how much time are you in your mind? Being serious is a mind game, and it only narrows our experience of consciousness. It is impossible to achieve a deeper level of enlightenment, peace, joy, love, kindness, generosity, humbleness, or fulfillment in life by being serious about it. The only time you reach success is when you get so tired of being serious that you relax. Then the mind and the heart begin to open. And then all of us, expand our thinking and raise our vibration high enough to enter a state of appreciation, joy, and love. This is about, again, frequencies, increasing. Raising your energy into love simply happens all by itself. realizing the truth of who you are, that you are an infinite, eternal being, at one with the very God source itself of that which you are. Life is not serious. Life is love. Life is laughter. Life is dance. Laughter in its purest form is a dance of all your energies. Laughter is one of the most involved phenomenon in human life. No other animal can laugh. It is only man who can laugh. Osho. Perhaps you're wondering how to approach life's painfully serious situations, such as you or a beloved one is facing a terminal illness, or you have to go through a divorce, foreclosure, bankruptcy, or perhaps even contemplating suicide. Life is divine chaotic organization, which makes it both easy and challenging. All of us, we each came here to go through some very intense emotional experiences which push us deeper inside of ourselves. This is the only way we get beyond our busy ego mind and its need to control every aspect of life. Painful, heart-wrenching emotional experiences force us to become extremely connected to our spiritual path and eventually reach the God source. Your pain is meant to break the ego open, to open your heart so that your mind flows along and opens to the divine. The pain is meant to make you dig deep down in yourself, creating roots in your being so that you get grounded in the God that you are. Maybe one of the best ways to deal with these serious emotional times is to go with them, to flow into them, through them, until you're out the other side. And as a matter of fact, that may be the only way. This inner journey requires that you, each of us, trust in this divine loving source. Know it is always here, encouraging you to breathe, relax, and remember that you are lovable. It is said, that which doesn't kill you only makes you strong. Now, what was not told to us is that death is what makes life so juicy and alive. Endings are always new beginnings. And there is a divine reason behind every experience you have throughout your entire life. If you can take this more enlightened approach to life, you'll find the lightness around your heart becomes 10 times brighter, if not more, the week after you've made it through the darkest night of the soul. If your mind is seriously addicted to drama and you cannot find any way out, start practicing the attitude of gratitude. What are you truly thankful for? Make a list. Check it twice, 3 times, dozens of times. Think about these ideas all day long. And eventually, I can guarantee you, this exercise will liberate you from the seriousness, dis-ease. Once you start living in appreciation mode, the mind naturally wants to focus on what you are thankful for in each moment. Then, the serious disease has to leave your life. The heart opens huge with gratitude, and the over-analyzing, critical, worrying ego takes a long-needed vacation. Some strong advice that can be given to all of us is whenever we can be non-serious, is whenever we can be non-serious. Be light, playful, laugh as often as you can. And let everyone else pretend that life is serious. You do not walk in the gallows with them. Be sincere in who you are. You don't you don't have to be serious about what you find. Everything comes and goes. Everything. And when it comes down to it, The real integrity in life is only between you and the God that you are. It has nothing to do with your ego or others' opinions of your ego. The ego is a lot like a shadow, something that is lacking true lightness. It's basically a figment of our imagination. So why buy into its serious love affair when we weave a more lighthearted approach into our daily adventure? We will start discovering the secret to really enjoying our lives is oh so very simple. Every person, every human you know who is unhappy, is addicted to seriousness, they are also deeply trapped in their ego mind. They are resisting, denying, suppressing, or addicted to the darkness, pain they are in. And so, they are constantly attempting to get somewhere better instead of resting with the pain, giving it love, and being with what is. Serious people have forgotten how to trust life. And that this very moment is the only place where the God source can be experienced. Once this source is made more important than the ego trip, the most ecstatic, blissful, divine experience of life will find you. The most fun-loving, healing, juicy energy is available in this very moment and will enter you instantly when you drop all seriousness from your mind and future completely. We talk about this, discovering the God is the goal of your life, of our existences, discovering the gods that we are. It is why we are here, having to live our lives. Once the mind surrenders to this real goal and truth, then we have a chance to be free. Knowing God is laughter, lightness, and freedom. As long as seriousness is there, the God source is pushed into the back burner, onto the back burner, and you've just delayed your experience of real bliss. One day, the mind has to give up. It has to surrender to trust. See the bigger picture in each new moment. You don't have to give up your serious attitude completely to find total ecstasy. You get to. You get to. You don't have to. Discovering this attitude is the essential secret to transform heavy seriousness into enlightened sincerity and having all suffering instantly disappear. This meditation is addressing and your seriousness. Now, you can't do it overnight, but your intent grows and expands. Step by step, you begin to embrace and understand that this is true, and it will vibrate with you. So if you will, go to the place where you are not going to be interrupted, which I'm sure most of you are. And the first thing we want to do is relax our bodies. We harbor such ridiculous amounts of stress, fear, anger, anxiety, discontent, self-analyzation, criticism. It's just on and on and on. And the body stores that. It's like a warehouse, different parts of it. So, relax the body consciously. Let go of these strains and stresses that your mind has created for you and for you to believe and create them into reality. Let them go. You will feel as you just be. Now, as you're relaxing the body, you truly desire and want to move into the now. The now stills the mind. We must still our minds. And the now is not the past. And the now is not the future, which the majority of this civilization spends most of its time in the past or the future. They negate the now, which is all that there is, or ever is, ever will be, ever has been. Ever. The now. You do not live in the past. You do not become seduced by reminiscing. It's really easy to do it. We all do it. We go back in the past. Oh, I remember this. I remember this experience. I remember that. Oh, you remember that. Oh, yeah, you remember that. Oh, it was so fun and enjoyable. We are creating each second in the now. Better, more expansive experiences. And as we do, they become the past. This is how we continually move forward and embrace the now. The same with the future. The future has not been. It is not there. You are in the now, and staying in the now will create your future. But increasing the past and visitation of the past and reminiscing of the past will also duplicate the past into the future. This is why many of our lives are redundant. They keep going in circles and circles. We come full circle, we're back there again. How did I get here again? Why am I here again? This keeps happening to me. Why does this keep happening to me? Because you are living in the past to create your future. You live in the now. And as we live in the now, we're going to want to breathe. And we breath in through the nose and we breath out through the mouth. And as we breath in through the nose, we hold it 1001, 1002, 1003. And then we breath out through the mouth. And for those of you who are new, the reason we do this is because it focuses us on the now. People say, well, how do we know we're in the now? How do we do that? And how do we stay in it? This is a very simple tool. Breathe. And as you're breathing, it will focus you to stay in the now. Because all you're doing is focusing on your breathing. Nothing else. It will take your attention away from the incessant chatter of the mind and ego, of the future and the past. See? It will focus you in the now. It will still the mind. It is so important for us to breathe through these bodies. The reason is because most of us shallow breathe on this planet. We take our breathing for granted. And as we shallow breathe, we only take in maybe 16, 18% oxygen. Not good for our bodies. So there's many motivations for us to focus on our breathing. In the night, maybe when you wake up and you're worried about something, stressing about something, literally go back into the bed, lay there, and focus on your breathing, and you'll find out that all of that crap will fall away and you will have a good sleep. You may not be able to do it at first, but as long as you keep practicing it, and your intent is sincere and totally honest, you will accomplish it. And it will become repetitive. Now, as we breathe in, we're breathing in divine positive energy. This is source energy. It is of the highest vibrational frequency. It is communicated through source to your God, second to second, eternally. And it comes from the collective consciousness of the universe. That's part of source. It comes from everything. All that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever. Think about that. And it communicates, be free. It's your choice with yourself. Embrace the God that you are. Ease away the seriousness. Become the high flight of the spirit that you are. Soar into the higher frequencies. You have no limits. The only limits you have are those that you allow the mind and ego to play upon you. communication through your God to you. Enjoy every single second of your existence in that body. Be in the deepest of gratitudes always, not just in certain times, not just to remind yourself, but always during the course of the morning, the day, and the night. Perpetual gratitude, not forced, chosen by you. You don't have to do it. The results are just stay in seriousness, addicted to it, unhappy, heavily weighted, distorted. It's your choice, no one else's. Now, as you breathe out, you're breathing out the same things that we contend with all the time. Oh, this is silly. Oh, this is crazy. No, you don't want to do that. You're fine. Everything's fine. Oh, you're not that serious. This is ridiculous. It's getting carried away. No. Keep doing what you're doing. You're fine. Okay? That's the mind and the ego. And we're not used to that. We have been so conditioned that you're supposed to be serious. Sometimes you've got to be serious. Think about that statement. Sometimes you've got to be serious. Jeez, that's not right. That's not right at all. So remember, you're fused with your heart mind. Your God is with you. You are one with your God. Right now, right in this now. And arm in arm, hand in hand, we form our circle of light. Circle of light is our God light energy. It illuminates. This halo appears around the equator of this planet Earth. It is bristling with the deepest hues and glows and multicolored. It is the deepest yellow, gold, white, pink, purple, green, and it's just vibrating at the highest frequency. And it is happy, and joyous, and uplifting. And it encases this planet in a perfect sphere of glittering, reflecting God light energy, which is all creation, which is source. And it expands. It saturates all the life on this planet, in this planet, all things. All that there ever is, ever will be, ever has been, ever. It protects. It continues to expand out. It makes contact with low frequencies. It harmonizes those low frequencies. They no longer can sustain their structure of a low frequency. They either elevate themselves into higher and higher frequencies and become released and free and out of their own in bondage, or they stay in the deep recesses of the darkest, lowest frequencies, which is up to them. Or they're transmuted and sent back to the great central sun for repurposing. We are in the same sphere. We are all protected 24/7. The only thing that can penetrate these spheres is more deep eternal love. The rest of it stands not even a fraction of an inch penetrating. Cannot sustain itself. Understand that. Low frequencies cannot sustain themselves in the higher and higher frequencies of the God light energy. They cannot. They become unhealed. They become separated and fragmented and destructured. Arm in arm, hand in hand, we literally float up above the planet. Now, we leave the body. We're connected to the body. We sustain the body. We keep the body running as long as it's sufficiently healthy. And the body no longer can hold us, and it begins to break down beyond our understanding. Then we leave the body. Forever, we are everlasting and eternal. We are of the highest divinity, of the highest source. We are perfect. We are God's. So as we float up, we're compelled to call upon our brothers and sisters, our other parts, the other creations of Source, all one. Remember that, all one. So we call together the particles. We call upon all of the light energy beings that are in all things, all that there is, all that there ever will be, and all that there has been, ever. They are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love. They are in bliss and joy. They are in happiness. Generosity, humbleness, kindness, non-judging, full in compassion. Benevolent and tranquil. And they come gladly, arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in the Google plexus. They fill this universe. They fill existence. They fill beyond the ribbon of creation. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. It's eternal. We're all one. We're all love. And our God-light energy is everywhere. We call upon the archangels, seraphim, cherubim, archetypes, all the angels, all of the civilization. They've been assisting this civilization for eons in protection, in support, in abundance, in wealth, in joy, in simpleness, in strength, in perseverance. They are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love. They are in joy, peace, generosity, fullness of compassion, non-judging. And they come in the trillions. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they flock in and join us in this circle of life. They are of the highest, deepest, eternal gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitudes. We are all one. We're all love, and our God-light energy expands and is continually expanding and is everywhere. We call upon the Ascended Masters. These are those who have ascended out of body. And they've escaped the matrix. They have come back to assist us in our enlightenment, in our evolution, in our ascension. They take that risk. And we all do. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Morgan, Abundancia, and many, many, many more. They are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love. They are in joy, peace, tranquilness, benevolence, kindness, generosity, humbleness. And they come arm in arm, hand in hand, in the trillions. And there are trillions of them throughout existence, throughout all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever. They are one with the circle of light. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitudes, and we are of the highest, deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitudes. We're all one. We are all love. And our God-light energy is everywhere. We We call upon the inhabitants of Agartha, hollow earth, inner earth, beneath earth. All these civilizations who are only of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love, who are in joy, in peace, generosity, humbleness, who are in full compassion, who are non-judging, who are in bliss, tranquility, benevolence. And they come, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, in this meditation. Their gods merge with our gods. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitudes, and we are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitudes. And we are all one, we are all love, and our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon the galactics and off-worlders, all of these civilizations, only of the highest, deepest eternal love from these civilizations. Of and from the highest, deepest eternal love. They've been assisting us in our evolution, our enlightenment, our ascension, and freeing ourselves from our self-imposed bondage and slavery. They are in joy. They are in generosity. They're in peace. They are in stillness of mind. They are happy. They are humble. They are non-judging. They're in full compassion. They come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand. Their gods merge with our gods. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes eternally, and we are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes eternally, and we are all one, and we are all love, and our God light energy is absolutely, unmitigatingly everywhere. We call upon our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime, in all the lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love, who are in joy, peace, happiness, bliss, tranquility, stillness, full in compassion, non-judging, simple. And they come, the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, and their gods merge with our gods in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes eternally. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes eternally. We are all one. We are all love. And our God light energy is everywhere. We call upon all of the light energy beings who decided to be housed in the following forms on and in, above and below this planet, in this now, in this meditation, who are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love, who are in full compassion, generosity, and humbleness, who are non-judging, who are in tranquility, in benevolence, in peace, in stillness. And just to name a few, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the dwarves, the gnomes, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, the mermaids, the dolphins, the whale, Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, minotaur, and many, many, many more. And they come in the trillions of shapes, forms, sizes, colors, and configurations of which we have never seen before. And they join us arm in arm, hand in hand. They are in pure benevolence, kindness, peace, tranquility, benevolence, generosity, humbleness. And their gods merge with our gods. And they are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes eternally. We are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes eternally. And we are all one. And we are all love. And our God-light energy, the power of creation, the source of source, is everywhere in the highest, deepest, eternal love, light, energy. We look up. We see our meditative sphere. We feel it through our heart mind. It sets center circle. It can be seen, heard, and felt through all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever. Feel it flood your God, your body, your mind, your ego, yourself. Feel the simplicity. Feel the ease as you begin to move away from seriousness. Feel as you become lighter, more buoyant, almost to the point that you can fly. No longer, eventually, you become removed from the materialisms of this matrix. You embrace the God that you are. You are in joy, laughter, fun, happiness. Seriousness is a trap of the mind and ego. Those who are in joy accomplish thousands of times more things than those who are in seriousness. You de-stress, you alleviate the tearing and ripping of the physical body. The tug of war is eliminated. You move into stillness. The mind and the ego begin to understand that now they are on a long overdue vacation. It may never end. We look down upon the planet, we see all life. We feel all life. It is source. It is flow. Its flow is everything and everywhere. Its flow is all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever. We are part of this flow. We are the flow. And we can move effortlessly. So we flood them. All life, all existence, including Gaia, inside and out of her spirit and soul and God. We flood everything, constantly. Deep eternal love, joy, the journey within, the journey to your God center. Full embrace of the God that you are. Full understanding. There is no race. There is no ego involved. It is up to each and every one of us to embrace or push away. I'll join you in the meditation and I'll return to close this out. journey that we are on is far-reaching into the gods that we are. And these are pieces that we're putting together, snapping into place, that give us a very clear understanding, comprehension, conscious, in the heart-mind, of how to move all this into one picture, and to embrace it. It's like taking all the dots, and then you take and trace around all the dots, you form a wonderful picture. Then you color it. And it shows you the true beauty that you are. Take it out for the rest of this day, into the evening and night and the following morning. It is bliss, peace, stillness of mind. You know, we talked about love everything. Oh, you can't love everything. I can't love that guy. I can't love her. She did this. He did that. It is beyond that. You know? It starts with you. So we'll be back here tomorrow, September 18th, 2019 at 3 p.m. Eastern. And tomorrow night, we are having a TS